Hello, Salam. Hi guys, welcome back. It's Noor, and I can't believe I got as much support as I did on the last video. So thank you to everyone who liked whatever you did on that video. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I hope that continues because you show me love, I show you love. All right, today is about something serious, okay? I want to talk about the comfort zone. Yes, I want to talk about the comfort zone. And I feel like this is why a lot of people have destructive habits, or maybe they say things that they want to do. Listen, everybody that I know wants to do something, okay? Everybody has a dream, everybody has a goal, whether they know of it or not, okay? And I'm trying to talk low because I have neighbors and I'm not trying to sound like I'm talking to myself. All right? So everyone has goals, okay? Whether you know of it or not. Everyone is on this planet to do a job, to do a certain thing, rather, and to do it good. But we all have to find out what that is. I think we can all achieve that if we erase our comfort zone. Because our comfort zone, all it's doing is providing our brain with a little bit of a distraction so that we can get to the next day, because let's be honest, our brain's normal state, our brain's initial state, it doesn't want to do work. It does not want to do work. Your brain is, like, in my opinion, the laziest organ in the human body. It does not want to give energy. It wants to use energy, and a lot of it too. And it wants to be a couch potato, okay? Think of your brain like that. You have to be in control of the decision making and learn how to get your brain out of the comfort zone. And it's not going to be easy at all. So let's talk about it. For me, I feel like my comfort zone in this season, in the winter, is when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I think about is not what I want to do all day. I'm stuck in my bed and I feel frozen. I can't get out of bed. I actually feel more comfortable in bed. But at the end of the day, I know that if I stay home and I don't do anything, or I do even one of the tasks that I know that I could be doing more of, I'm gonna feel terrible. And that's what we all fall into. We all fall into this distraction, whether we give ourselves excuses, whether we go on social media, we keep giving ourselves excuses. Stop making excuses for the things that you have to do. And let me tell you something else, that if you have an actual problem, like your health or whatever, you should not make that one of your excuses. You have to fix that first, because you cannot use anything as an excuse in this life or as a reason why you can't move forward. The other day I was reading a piece of the Quran that said, I don't remember which verse it was, but it was saying, like, God was describing that if you're praying while sitting down, it says something along the lines of, like, whenever you overcome your burden or whatever, something like that, go back to the normal standing position. If someone knows which verse that is, please put it below. But when I read that, I was like, oh, because sometimes, like if I'm really tired, or if I think that I'm tired, or I feel like maybe my back hurts or something, because sometimes my back hurts. So I pray sitting down. I mean, I know that's allowed, like, if you're injured or something, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you're able to stand up and do other things, you could stand up and pray. That's what the Quran verse was saying. But when I read that, something in my mind clicked, because I was like, oh, I know he's merciful, that he will accept a prayer even if we're sitting down, but not out of laziness. And he tells us, if you can push yourself to stand up, then do it. So I really thought about that for a long time, and I said, wow, like, now I don't pray sitting down, I pray standing up. And just little things like that you can pick up out of the Quran, or pick up from the Hadith, and implement it in your life, will really make you start activating those channels in your brain that are responsible for critical thinking, problem solving, because our brain is wired to think like a lazy hippo. You know our hippocampus, like the eat, rest, digest, or whatever it is. It's like eat, rest, and like arousal, I think it is. So naturally our brain wants that, okay, because we're getting a hit of dopamine whenever we're eating or whenever we're doing those certain things, right? But when our brain is like, oh, like my body's telling me to move and telling me to push myself, like, oh, like it starts to act like a little nervous, anxious little child. And you have to be like doing things to tell yourself, to tell your brain that no, it's okay, this is what we're supposed to do. And that's not going to be easy. There is a verse in the Quran, it's chapter 13, verse 11, and it says, God does not change the condition of a people unless they change what's in themselves. Does that mean I'm going to wake up tomorrow and say to myself, today is going to be the best day ever, and then I'm not going to do anything about changing that thing that I need to change? No, I need to actually know myself before that thought comes. What does that mean? That means I need to know what my brain is thinking, is going to say, or going to think, or what mood it's going to put me in before I have to do that thing that I have to do. For example, you wake up in the morning, you know your brain's telling you, Noor, turn on the snooze button. It's going to wake you up in 5 minutes. Just go back to sleep. And you're like, maybe some part of you is like, you know what? That's a really good idea. I'm going to do that. And then you never wake up, or you wake up again and you feel terrible because you slept more than your brain it had the rest it needed. It doesn't need, you had whatever, 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. Why are you going back to sleep for another 5 to 10 minutes? You have to catch your brain, okay? You gotta catch your brain in the act, okay? If you can catch it before the act, your brain is like, think of your brain like a little sneaky, like gremlin, okay? I know it sounds silly, but think of your brain like a little sneaky gremlin that tries to put thoughts in your head to get you to do what they want, but really it's not what you want. Your brain is always, even if you are, I don't care how successful you are, I don't care how athletic you are, I don't care, whatever, your brain is always going to try to put little things in your head, even if it's little things, like small little things, to push you away to be more on the side of conserving your energy rather than someone who's giving it all away, okay? Because your brain doesn't want to be in starvation mode, giving all your energy out like that. That's not how we're wired, okay? So catching your brain before the act is so important. And that can be like, for example, I truly feel like our motivation starts in the morning, and the earlier you wake up, the better. And sometimes the earlier you wake up, the easier it is to catch your brain in those moments. Because like if you're constantly letting your body rest, your brain is going to literally be in like sleep mode when you wake up, if that makes sense. And you want to catch it at the right time. Like, we all have a circadian rhythm for a reason, so let's kind of use it to your advantage, use it to strengthen you and help you rather than letting it hinder you every single day. And your brain does get used to a routine. It does get used to what you tell it to, but it depends on what type of person you are. It depends on how strong your willpower is. It also depends on like other things, like how healthy you are, the environment you put yourself in, the type of people you listen to, the type of people you hang around. So you might want to like look within yourself, look around yourself, look within yourself, and you'll really see what is feeding your life, what is feeding your soul. Because if you're trying to fix yourself and you're trying to fix your life and you're allowing your life to put certain people or situations in it, and you're trying to change yourself, it's going to feel a lot harder. So, and in a way, it's kind of like you're purifying yourself when you're getting yourself out of your comfort zone, because Like, you're getting rid of all your bad habits, and you have to, like, that's how you have to think of it. If you think of it as a, like, I'm changing my life forever, I'm gonna change it tonight forever, like it's gonna be a permanent all or nothing change, like that is not how it's gonna work. First of all, slow down, okay? If you take small little tiny steps every single day, you are not going to slip and fall. If you watch videos like this and you the next day you change the time you wake up, and then you try to change all your habits, and you try to change everything that you know that's bad about yourself, it's not going to work like that. It is more consistent for you to do small things so your brain does not freak out on you, okay, if you do all those things at one time, because that's how weak we are. We're very weak, okay? We're very weak. So be easy, like easy on yourself. And maybe you are physically capable of doing so much more than your brain can understand, but it cannot understand that, okay? Please treat your brain like a little baby, and you have to talk to it. You have to convince it. It's a little gremlin. Your brain is a gremlin. You have to talk to it. You have to convince it to stop bothering you. You have to convince it to listen to you. And the level of difficulty depends on the amount of training you give your brain every day. If you're giving your brain, like let's say your problem is waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, or waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe you have to pray at 4. Maybe you have to go to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. And you are struggling to maybe fall asleep early, or you're struggling to just get up in general. Like, you have to talk to yourself so hard. You have to talk to yourself twice as hard, because you have to learn how to train your brain to go to sleep early, and you have to train your brain to wake up in the morning. And not only that, you have to do things throughout the day that's going to make you tired enough to sleep at that time. So you are going to experience a whole lifestyle change. And I'm not saying waking up early is the only hurdle in your life. I'm just giving you an example. And again, like whenever you pick up this new lifestyle, right, you are going to experience new things, obviously, right? But what does that mean? It means that your brain, okay, is going to start freaking out a little bit. Your brain is going to start freaking out, and that's normal, and that's okay. But you have to talk to it, and you have to do goodbye baby, right? No, not really, but you have to be sensitive to yourself, be sensitive to your emotions, okay? I'm not saying ignore your emotions completely, but like, do what you know is right and healthy for you every single day. You know what's healthy, you know what's wrong. You know when you're doing the wrong thing. You know, for example, that you can't wake up in the morning. You know that you can't eat healthy. So what do you know you could do to replace one small thing, 2 small things every day? One small thing. And your brain is slowly going to be like, okay, that's okay. And then you add one more thing, and your brain is not going to be like, it's going to be used to the small changes. Okay, I know, like when I was younger, a little bit younger, I'm not that old, okay, I'm just saying when I was younger, that I used to, oh my god, like I used to be making crazy schedules. Like I would study for like 4 to 5 hours a day, and for me, 5 hours in a row was too much. It still is too much. And then right after that, I would go to the gym at my school, and then like right after that, I would like eat, but I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know how to eat properly. I didn't know how to organize my time properly. And that did not last long, okay? That schedule didn't last long. Like the next week, it wouldn't be me studying 5 hours and go to the gym. Like I crashed and burned. So your brain is going to crash and burn if you don't take it easy. But you can still take it easy and get out of your comfort zone. So you got to find out how to do that. And I want to talk about going back to what I was saying about you're going to experience new things, you're going to feel new things, you're going to see new things, you're going to see different versions of yourself come out, you're going to see other people looking at you differently, you're going to see certain things about you that you didn't know that you could do or have, and hopefully they're good things, because if you're trying to break free from the goblin that's up here, then it's not going to be easy at all. It's not going to be easy at all. It's not going to be easy at all, okay? So you have to also tell yourself that too. Like, you don't have to tell yourself like, oh, normal people do this on an everyday basis and they have it easier than me, or like, I don't know how to do this, I'm struggling. Yeah, you are supposed to struggle. You are supposed to feel some type of different way. Like, and you're not gonna like it at first, but you eventually will. You will eventually get used to it. And another thing about that is when you do experience your new self, maybe you will see other people looking at you differently, and maybe that's not a good thing. But again, your brain might freak out after that. You have to tell it to be okay. It's okay if other people are not used to the new you. That's okay. They don't have to understand you yet. But just like your brain will get used to your new self, everybody else will too, okay? I want to talk about some hadith in Quran real quick that I picked up that is super relevant to this. And this is stuff that I knew since I've been wearing my scarf for years, since I started reading the Quran, and it really has helped me because I do remember that sometimes when I'm going through something. So the first one is Saad ibn Ali Waqas, may Allah be pleased with him, said, I said, O Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, which of the people are most sorely tested? He said, the prophets. Then the next best, and then the next best. A man will be tested in accordance with his level of religious commitment. If his religious commitment is strong, he will be tested more severely. And if his religious commitment is weak, he will be tested in accordance with his religious commitment. Calamity will keep befalling a person until he walks on the earth with no sin on him. Wow. Wow. Calamity will keep befalling a person until he walks on the earth with no sin on him. Our calamity, of course, is our tests in our life. But maybe that thing that we're trying to push ourselves through is a calamity. Maybe it's a way that we can remove our sins from ourselves. So this is another way that I think, and I use this hadith to remember that there's a reason for every hardship. There's a reason for every pain. Like, you are not going through pain alone. You are not going through pain for no reason. You will not experience anything disrupting, annoying, harmful, whatever bad thing it is. You will not experience it without getting something good. So that in and of itself should remove any negative thoughts you have, because maybe if you remove that negative thought, you will have something good in your place. The second thing is chapter 13, verse 11 of the Quran. God does not change the condition of a people unless they change what is in themselves. It's not just that. It's not just changing your morning routine, or the fact that you're eating healthy, or you're going to work earlier. Oh, like, no, it's actually, if you change what's in yourself, if you change your version of you, what are you changing about yourself? It's not just your appearance, it's what's in the inside. How are you talking to people? How are you treating people? How are you treating those at home? Even when you're tired, how do you treat people? If you're hungry, how do you treat people? Like, when you should be giving, how do you act with people? When you should be taking, how do you act with people? When you have something to offer someone, how do you act with people? That's what shows you what's in yourself. Unless you change that, then he will not change your circumstance or change you. Because this verse is also saying that God changes the condition of a people. He has the power to make you that person that you're trying to be. What does that mean? That means that you're not ultimately the thing that's going to change you. It's God. So if you show him your efforts, he will change you. That's what this is saying. That's very reassuring. Chapter 94, verse 5-6. So surely with hardship comes ease. Surely with that hardship comes more ease. And of course, I take it, everyone will take this verse as is, with hardship comes ease. But the verse is repeated. Surely with that hardship comes more ease. So he's saying, in my opinion, he's saying that it's a cycle. Life is a cycle of hardship and ease. When there's hardship, there will be ease. And then after that hardship, he's saying, there will be more ease. So how I interpret that is, you go through something in your life, a hardship, something that makes you uncomfortable, something that throws you off, throws you out into the snow, right? Like you're thrown out into the snow. You are dealing with that complete hardship. You consider it a hardship. God considers a hardship. Everybody around you considers a hardship, okay? You're dealing with that thing that's a hardship. You will be granted ease. That's number one. Number two, after that ease is given, God knows the time, you will be given another hardship. Maybe it's super harder than the first one. Maybe it's easier, but you will be given more ease after that. That could mean that the first ease you got was a lesser ease than the second one that you got. And it could mean that every ease we are given after every hardship is a significantly larger value than the previous ease we got. That's how I interpret it. That makes me happy. And I also interpret it in another way, that the word hardship doesn't define the severity or the amount of hardship. Even that means that even if you're going through something small and it's a hardship, then you will still be guaranteed the ease, as much as someone who is going through a hardship that's much bigger. And the last one is 3 verses from chapter 3. So the first one is chapter 3, verse 145. No soul can ever die without Allah's will at the destined time. Those who desire worldly gain, we will let them have it. And those who desire heavenly reward, we will grant it to them. And we will reward those who are grateful. So those who desire worldly gain, we will let them have it. When I read this verse, I was like, I actually used to think like God doesn't want us to be attached to this world and we shouldn't really go after certain things. You know, for example, like I used to think so crazy. Like I used to think like, oh, I can't achieve this goal of mine that's on the top of that mountain because it's like too expensive, and maybe that's like haram, or maybe it's out of my like religious like, you know, rules. Or I used to put so many like just thoughts into it to keep myself like away from thinking about it, that when I read this, it's like you can have everything that you desire in this world, everything that you want in this world that's good for you, but you have to be grateful, right? And what did God say? That he gives you, he changes your condition if you change yourself, right? So maybe one of the ways we can change ourselves is to be more grateful. And in the same chapter, it says in verse 146, the next one, Allah loves those who persevere. Okay, so that's why I said when you do those small steps every single day for yourself, make sure it's a commitment to yourself. Make it something that's only for you. Make it so personalized that you are developing a relationship with yourself that you never had, so that when you try to achieve things for yourself, you're persevering for your new self. Allah loves that for you. He wants to give you more. And you cannot give yourself more if you're stuck in the you that's you right now. The next one is chapter 3, verse 150. Allah is your guardian and he is the best helper. And don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that he is the one that is going to change the whole world for you. Whatever you want to be in life, and I tell myself this too. I'm not saying this because I want to sound super holy or super, I'm saying this because this is what we have to believe. We have to believe, we have to train our brain and our mind, right? Every single day in everything that we do. I don't care if you're going to the bathroom. I don't care if you're tying your shoes, you're driving your car, you're taking a test, you're brushing your hair, you're brushing your teeth. He is your guardian and he's your helper, okay? Because you never know what's going to happen. And you never know, like, you don't want to be an old person that has nothing going for you. So Allah is really, really, like, to me, he's telling us that he really wants to help us, and he's giving us attributes to himself. He is a guardian, and he is the best helper. He says the best helper. So use it to your advantage, right? And take the small little lessons from the Quran. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to read as much as possible from, like, as much as I can, right? And, you know, I started doing this just recently. Like, I want to read more Quran. I want to, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I used to think, like, oh my God, I have to read the Arabic, and then the translation, and then the transliteration, and then I have to, like, come on. Read so you develop a relationship with him first. And then, you know, as you go on, you could slowly learn how to memorize. I think the main thing to take from this video is don't ever burden yourself. And I really mean that in every sense of the word. Don't ever in any situation burden yourself. Stop putting your brain and your mind and your thoughts through torture. Like, I tell myself this every day. I have to slow down and calm down. And that takes a lot of planning. That takes a lot of reassurance. That takes a lot of time and energy. And sometimes it's exhausting because you just want to go through the motions of life, and you want to just be like, why do I have to stop and like do this or think better for myself? Like, no, that's another bad thought that you have. Some of your bad thoughts come out through your speech. So that's why we have to learn how to like tone it back. And usually when I say something that my brain is like telling me something like negative, or if I have a negative thought that comes out through my speech, I always try to like speak something positive to like take that thing back. You know what I mean? Because what I learned from the verse, like, with hardship comes more ease, like it makes me feel like every bad thing can be erased by a good thing, right? So train yourself that. One step at a time. And each time you do that step, then when you mastered that step, move to the next step. I hope that this video was helpful. And I might make a part two, because I do love this topic. I love the topic of getting out of your comfort zone, exploring yourself, exploring your thoughts, things like that. I think it's very interesting. A lot of people are confused in life because their brain is, that little gremlin up there is taking over. I mean, really taking over. I'm serious, like. Okay, I really hope that you enjoyed this. Shoot me another like, and please support. I really do appreciate every single thing. I really feel like that's my virtual hug when you like subscribe and when you like the video. So thank you so much, and I will see you very soon.